In identifying with my magically inclined great-grandmother, I began to identify as a Maga, a mage or magician in the original sense of the term. I began to learn about and develop a lexicon of correspondences to experiment with natural and sympathetic magic. I also understood that such magic, that is, traditional folk magic, had to do with wish fulfillment, protection, and vengeance, despite the popular modern Wiccan-inspired emphasis on harm none lest you get a triple dose of backlash. On a certain level, I thought of my magical practices as a way to blow off steam. They were a kind of therapeutic ritual through which I could contemplate what exactly my desires or frustrations were. I also felt more in tune with the rhythms of nature. I followed the moon cycles and seasonal phases and took long walks in nature where I was present to the elements and spectral energies of natural places. There was contentment in that. My magical practice at first largely involved candle magic. I also took to making clay fetishes and talisman-like objects that would be stuffed with herbal poultices and other small magically significant objects or substances. Sometimes I would symbolically plant those fetishes or deposit them in natural settings such as the recesses of trees. An interest in fashioning magic wands also led me to take an interest in the symbolically magical properties of trees. It was playful, fun. It spurred creativity. It also took the emphasis off of the transcendentalism I had been accustomed to from years of previous dedication to Vedantist, Buddhist, and yoga practices. My folk magic put me back on earth. It made it okay to be in a body, okay to experience the sensual and erotic, okay to have desires, okay to be a human being having human drives and experiences in relation to the natural world. I did peruse through pop culture books on witchcraft. I found a lot of it to be hokey, which was good, because it urged me to verify and seek and find academic research on magic and superstition in European and Euro-American culture. The pop lit also provided inspiration and a template for developing my own practice. I began to lightly touch on ceremonial magic, having stumbled on a small offshoot of the Dayan fortune lineage called the Magi group. The Magi group was not a portal through which to learn about the Magi of old, but it was my introduction to high magic and magical Christianity. As for ancient Magi, I would learn that they originated as sorcerer priests in Persia in the 3rd millennium BCE. By biblical times and the turn of the Common Era, Magi were thaumaturgists, miracle workers, diviners, and healers. Through the Magi group, I was mentored in a type of hermetic magical Christianity, which I persisted with, but also resisted like a surly teenager. The resistance was a natural response, though, as I was fiercely acclimated to non-dualism and was well-versed in the spiritual philosophy and terminology of the East. In any case, through the Magi group I learned a bit about Kabbalah. Also I learned about magical correspondences important to natural and sympathetic magic and the setting and timing for successful magical ritual. I was instructed in circle casting and the creation of ceremonial space. I also learned about traversing the inner plane. This was referred to as Astral Journeying, type of guided or narrative meditation in keeping with astral temple work. In inner plane work, the practitioner creates or is given prompts to visualize herself in an environment. It is, in a sense, a kind of well-directed and finely focused daydream, a light hypnotic trance to be more precise, where a narrative can spontaneously unfold. The envisioned environment, the inner world, is meant to be returned to and explored as a practice. Within it, archetypes, personalities, and metaphoric treasures are uncovered. This idea of an inner plane inspired me when I wrote my novel, La Maga, with the interplay being an alternate universe where sorcerers and magi go about dramas in a way just like we do in the ordinary world, but that also cross over and impose themselves on our world.